everyone, welcome back to the channel Fit with Julia. My name is Julia and today I'll be bringing you a 10-minute glute stretch. If you've been working on your glute gains lately, you're probably sore, so this stretch will be perfect for you. We'll be targeting the hips and the glutes, so this entire pelvic hip girdle, just to get a little bit more mobility and fluidity in your next workouts. So before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave this video a like and a kind comment afterwards to lock in that you did this stretch with me and that you enjoyed it. So let's get started. We're going to just take a little bit of a wider stance here, put our hands on our hips, shift our hips side to side, really pushing that hip out and feeling the stretch along the side of your glute. If you've been doing any kind of lateral motions like side lunges or lateral leg lifts, you're targeting the glute medius, which is the top side of the glute. So just stretching that out. Now let's stop on one side here. Push that hip out to the side with the other hand here. A nice open chest. And let's switch over to the other side. Right back into the middle. Take a wider stance, push our hips forward. Just stay here for a second. You can keep your gaze forward. And shift your hips back. Keep a nice flat back. If you can reach down to the ground with that flat back, you can. If not, you can keep your hands on your hips or at your chest, but just make sure you're maintaining that flat back. Pushing those hips back. And then we stretch in the hamstrings. They really tie into the glutes as well. Roll back up and push those hips forward again. We'll just cycle through this a few times. And push those hips back. Getting that nice flat back. You can shift your hips side to side a little bit if you want to. Let's roll it up for one last round of these. Push those hips forward. Really open up those hips. You can keep a slight bend in your knees if locking them out is uncomfortable. And come up, push those hips back. Keep breathing throughout this stretch. Make sure you're not holding your breath. You should feel your glutes and your hamstrings loosening up a little bit here. Now come into the middle and we're going to take our left leg, swing it behind the right one. The back leg is straight, the front one is a little bit bent. And we're pushing our hips back. Okay, from the side it looks like this. You can let your head hang over. You don't have to keep a flat back here. Just let your upper body hang over. Try to get your nose to your knee. You're gonna keep pushing those hips back. You should feel the stretch all the way from the glutes, all the way down to the heel. If you can walk over to the heel of that back leg and push those hips out to the side a little bit more, go for it. Just walk back into the middle and just switch legs. Just place the other foot, the right foot over the left one. Oops, the wrong foot. And push your hips back again. One leg might be a little bit tighter than the other, and that's okay. We tend to overcompensate on one side that's stronger. Again, from the side here. We do it subconsciously sometimes, and we're not 100% perfectly balanced. No one is, so that's okay. But just working on fixing those imbalances and stretching equally, applying equal strength, and really paying attention to those patterns is very important. Especially to avoid injury, of course. And if you can, walk over to the heel of that back leg. A little bit of the lower back here in the stretch as well. Keep breathing. And let's come into the middle, uncross your legs, and we're just going to take it down onto our hands and knees here. We're going to lock the knees together, take our hands wider, and drop our hips to the side. Allow your knees and your ankles to stack. Keep your chest facing toward the ground. Just let those hips fall to the side. Pushing your hips back and down, again targeting the side glutes here. Let's take it over to the other side, same thing. Allow your knees and your ankles to stack. Just let that hip fall back and down. You can play around with the angle where you feel it best in those glutes. Always make these stretches your own, wherever you feel it best. And let's take it over to the other side one more time. Your gaze between your hands. Keep your chest facing toward the ground. And keep pushing those hips back and down. And drawing your core in really helps with this too. And come over to the other side, last round. Just allow yourself to sit in that discomfort. When you're sore, your inclination is probably to just rest, not move, but moving around in this kind of way, introducing some mobility, is the best way to recover. It really speeds up your recovery and makes it a little less painful. Come to the middle, and we're just going to do some wide hip circles, so you can separate your knees a little bit here and just perform some nice wide circles with the hips. I'm going to switch directions in a few seconds, so just keep circling around in this one direction. And switch directions after your next circle. Just nice little circles, no need to rush here. Just really paying attention where you're sore the most. If even after the stretch you just want to sit in a certain position along this circle. Let's get one more circle in. And roll right forward into an up dog, opening up the hips a little bit more. Lift your chin to the ceiling. Try not to sink into your shoulders. Try to push away from the ground. And come back onto your hands and knees. We're going to just take a seat here and finish off with a figure 4 glute stretch. So cross one leg over the other. Try to keep your back nice and straight and walk up as close as you can with your chest to the shin of the crossed leg. Try to push this knee out as far as you can. And switch over to the other leg, same thing. Just from the front, keep both sit bones on the ground. Feel that stretch along the glute of the bent leg. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. I'll just get you back up into a standing position. So come onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes underneath. Walk back in. You can hang out here for a second. Just let your back hang. And slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. So that was just a quick stretch. We've come to the end. Just 10 minutes of your time to dedicate to just stretching your muscles and again, getting a little bit more blood flow, feeling a little bit more mobile. I hope you feel a lot better. I know I do after this. And honestly, whenever you're feeling restless, just jump into this stretch as well. When we're sitting a lot, our lower body tends to get tight. We're just trapped in these 90-degree angles at the ankles, at the knees, and at the hips. So this is just a great way to open that up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos, to leave me a like, a kind comment, and make sure to share this with someone else who might be sitting around all day or who you know is sore after their workouts. Thank you guys for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye.